You tell yourself you'll start tomorrow. Just not today. Today, you're tired, overwhelmed, distracted. Maybe you need a little more research. Maybe the timing isn't right. Maybe you're not quite ready to face it yet. But here's the part that hurts. You've said that before, and deep down, you know you'll say it again. Procrastination doesn't feel like fear at first. It feels like relief. A warm, quiet bubble where time slows down and pressure pauses. You scroll, you clean, you plan things you won't actually do, and for a moment, you get to escape the weight of becoming the version of yourself you secretly want to be, but are terrified to meet. You tell yourself it's strategic. You're waiting for inspiration, for clarity, for the perfect conditions, but those are lies your brain tells to protect you from a truth you're not ready to hold. You're not procrastinating because you're lazy. You're procrastinating because you're afraid. Afraid of what happens if you try and still fail. Afraid that giving your best won't be enough. And then, what excuse will you have left? Afraid that the dream you've been carrying for years will lose its magic once it's dragged into reality. Afraid that success, if it ever comes, will only make the emptiness louder. Because then you'll have to admit that it was never really about external achievement, but something broken inside that no amount of winning could fix. Afraid of the responsibility that comes with progress. Because once you grow, you can't keep blaming the past. Once you rise, you can't keep hiding in the cracks. Once you start, you're exposed, vulnerable, seen, and so you wait. You linger in the in-between, where the fantasy of who you could be is still intact. Because as long as you don't start, you can't ruin the image. As long as you delay, the perfect version of you still lives, untouched by reality, untested by risk. It's safer there, but that safety is a cage dressed as comfort. And the longer you stay in it, the more your potential starts to rot into regret. See, there's a dark comfort in procrastination. It cradles you with just enough ease to keep you numb, but not enough to make you happy. It gives you the illusion of control. You're not quitting, you're just thinking, planning, preparing. You're not lost, you're just taking your time. But time isn't infinite, and pretending you're still in control is just another form of self-deception. It's a soft betrayal, quiet, almost gentle. No fireworks, no crash. Just another day where nothing changed. Another promise you whispered to yourself and then walked away from. And you feel it, that low-grade anxiety, that background hum of guilt that follows you around like a shadow. The quiet self-disgust that surfaces late at night when the blue light fades and your thoughts grow louder. When your body is still but your mind is racing. And in that silence, there's a voice, faint but persistent, the part of you that remembers your potential, the part of you that sees through your excuses. And it asks you again, with sadness, not anger, why are you doing this to us again? That voice isn't your enemy. It's your unmet self, the version of you that still believes you can show up, even now. Because procrastination isn't just about avoiding work. It's about avoiding self-confrontation. It's the fear of facing your inadequacies. It's the belief that maybe, if you never fully try, then you never have to fully fail. But here's the twist. That voice inside you, the one you keep avoiding, it doesn't want perfection. It wants honesty. It wants to know you're at least trying to show up. You think you're buying time, but what you're really buying is regret. A slow, soul-deep kind of regret that piles up quietly until one day you wake up realizing you've been living on pause. We don't procrastinate because we're weak. We do it because we're scared. Scared that we won't be enough. Scared that if we start, the fantasy of our perfect potential will disappear. And all we'll be left with is reality. Messy, uncertain, human reality. But listen closely. Reality is where you become real. And progress, even ugly progress, will always be more beautiful than perfect inaction. So the next time you feel that pull to scroll, to clean, to delay just a little longer, pause and ask yourself, what am I really avoiding right now? Who am I betraying by not showing up? The future isn't some distant place waiting for you to arrive fully prepared. It's built right here in the ugly, uncomfortable, imperfect present. And it doesn't require you to be fearless. It just needs you to be brave for 5 minutes longer than your fear. Because the truth is, life doesn't wait, and neither should you. So what now? You've heard this before. Just start, they say. But how? When the weight of years of procrastination feels like concrete around your ankles? When every step forward feels like you're carrying the disappointment of every step you've already avoided? Here's the secret no one tells you. You don't change your life by flipping a switch. You change it by moving a single brick. Small, consistent, often invisible actions, stacked slowly, quietly, until one day you look around and realize you've built momentum where there used to be paralysis. Change doesn't have to be dramatic. In fact, the most lasting change rarely is. Start by doing one thing your future self will thank you for. Not 10. Just 1. Write a single sentence. Take a 10-minute walk without your phone. Clean one corner of your desk. Read one page. Drink a glass of water before the coffee. Set a timer for 5 focused minutes. 5, not 50. Because what you're training isn't just a habit. You're training trust. Trust in yourself that when you say, "I'll do it," you actually mean it. See, you don't need to change your life in one day. You just need to prove to yourself, over and over again, that you're willing to show up today. That you're someone who does small things, even when no one's watching. Especially then. Because every small win is a vote for the version of you that doesn't procrastinate anymore. Every action, no matter how minor, is evidence. You're no longer avoiding life. You're participating in it. That's the real shift, not in outcomes, but in identity. You start by choosing discomfort over delay, by building a bias toward action, by realizing that perfection was never the goal, integrity was. You don't need a revolution, you need rhythm, a daily rhythm of honesty, of showing up, of following through in micro moments, moments that, when compounded, quietly rewrite your story. So don't ask, "How can I change everything?" Ask instead, "What's one thing I can do today that my past self couldn't?" Then do it, and tomorrow do one more. Because that's how you escape the dark comforts of procrastination. Not by making a promise to the world, but by making one quiet promise to yourself and keeping it.